Hi everyone, today is Sunday, July 15th, 2018. Thank you for tuning in. And just a reminder that if you like what you hear, please go to my YouTube channel and subscribe so that you receive messages when I post these readings. Today's reading starts out with the Four of Wands. And in the Four of Wands, you see a couple raising their hands in celebration. There's a chuppah, and there's a beautiful castle in the background. So what that tells me is that this reading is about love relationships, intimate relationships, partnerships, a desire that some of us have to unite with our soulmates, the desire that some of us have that we're already in a sacred relationship with someone and we would like to return to that celebratory feeling of union that we started out with, because there are some people who are together for a long time and they feel they have lost a little bit of that newness that brings a lot of joy. And so this is what this reading is about. The card that directly influences is the Two of Pentacles. It's showing someone who's dealing with a lot of different aspects from the material world, finances, relationships, family, businesses, and it has been a balancing act to keep things moving and afloat. There could also be an emotional charge around this where that in relation to all the things that you're balancing, that there's also has been a need for us to stay balanced in how we're feeling towards having to constantly, because it's kind of like you're doing the balancing, you're able to deal with all the different things, but it's also a lot of work. And this kind of energy of this is a lot of work, and there seems to be a little bit of having to really work at this. And there could even be moments of struggle. It might be affecting decisions about coming together with an intimate partner, a soulmate, or that these are the underlying reasons why maybe you're not feeling connected to the person that's already in your life. So the next card, which is the Gold or Destiny, is showing the Eight of Pentacles. This is a person that is hard at work at their craft. Is showing that a lot of us have been refining our businesses, our skills, our craft. We have creative projects that we've been working on, and it's saying that we've done a really good job, that we are prepared right now to actually enjoy the fruits of our labor. So it's the desire that we have to be able to do that. We're getting recognition for what we do, and now we're waiting and hoping for this to happen where we can actually be able to enjoy the results. And it's a very positive, it comes out as in the positive way. And then in the distant past, we have the Four of Pentacles. And the Four of Pentacles is telling me that there's a man who's sitting in a very secure place. He has his the home and his community behind him, but he's holding on to his coins really tight. So it's a sense of this is a person who has, but doesn't feel he has enough or doesn't feel secure enough. So it's telling you have what you need, and it's telling you that you're having this energy of have not. And it could be from your childhood. Maybe you grew up struggling, and there's a part of you that can never have enough. Or it could be that you've bought so many things in the material world that you're trying to live a life that is at such a high scale that you're going to always feel like you don't have enough. So you need to look at this. In the more recent past the card that came out is 10 of Wands. And this is a person who's carrying 10 wands, but he feels burdened by it. this person, it could be you, or it could be the person that you're dealing with that is can do this work. In other words, they are able to carry the burden, but it's telling you, well, why are you? Like, you really should be looking at all the wands you're carrying and put some of them down. And it might be that it's a lifestyle thing, that maybe you need to start to look at your lifestyle and start to realize that maybe you've taken on responsibilities that you've wanted to, and some that you really felt obligated to, and it's telling you to look at it and start to do what's right for you, because what's right for you is right for everybody. And if those wands are like all about the material world, and then you don't have room to attract the divine counterpart, then you need to look at that. You need to say, what is your priority? If it's all about the physical material things, then that's what your life is going to be about. But you might have to put down some of that, maybe evaluate your lifestyle, change and tweak some things, maybe move to a place that's not so expensive, maybe not have the shiny new car or the Gucci or Fendi bag, and maybe you could make room for other things and feel more abundant with the divine counterpart you're with, or because you want to welcome someone into your life and make that choice. The next card is the future influence. It's everything that's coming to be, and what we got is the Lovers card. This is a divine union with a divine counterpart. It's divinely orchestrated. The angels are above in this union. The sky is shining. The sun is radiating. It's about higher guidance, something that's meant to be. But there's a decision that has to be made. The lovers are there. This could be your twin flame and soulmate, but there is something about all of these things related to the material world and to finances that someone in the partnership, in the relationship, has to make a decision that love and all the things related to this beautiful energy of union with your divine counterpart is important, so that you can start making changes. In the position of the questioner, which is us, how we are, what we're emanating, have a lot of divine guidance right now. The hand of God is coming out, telling us we could be victorious, that everything that we've wanted and manifest is possible for us, that new beginnings are possible for us. And to shed light on this, the Queen of Cups came out. This is the divine feminine. She's beautiful, she's secure, she has dominion over her emotions, she's loving and compassionate, and she really is the key to all things that are possible in terms of emotional happiness. And I feel like all of us, the female and male in terms of gender, we need to start to put the feminine side of us in its right place. Women have been moving a lot of masculine energy because a lot of us are single, raising families, and we've had to move ourselves in the world. But it's saying now that it's time to bring the softness, the gentleness back in to balance who we are, so that our true selves can come out. And it's the same thing for the men. Men have been also combative, working hard, thinking they need to be tough, and really what they need to do is to also embody some of this feminine energy to balance that with the divine feminine and the divine masculine within each of us has to be balanced. And the women have to start to see the men that way. They not need to start, like if you've been in difficult and relationships that brought a lot of sorrow, where men have not have created a certain opinion, or you've decided certain things based on that, or what's happened, that it's time for you to allow the man, divine masculine, to take a place, a higher place, where all the things that are possible in the beauty of being a divine masculine is possible. We need to start to see them in that way so they can step into it. And then the next card is our inner emotions. And there's a sense of having been through a battle, having to have taken a stand, being vigilant. And I think there's a part of us that doesn't want to do that anymore. We don't want to have to take a stand. We don't want to be in combat. with our divine counterpart. I think that that's something that we want to move away from. So it stands here as a, I don't see it so much as a desire, but a fear that we need to stay in that place, and really we don't. If we can balance the masculine and feminine within each of us, we can actually start to flow beautifully between each other, allowing each one to take its place and to move in the world the way they're supposed to. Then the next card is the final result, which is the Emperor. Again, this reminds me, I see the Emperor next to the Queen of Cups, where the divine masculine is taking his place. He's on his throne. He's offering security. He's about tradition and structure, which is good when you are living on Earth and on this dimension. But he needs to sit next to the Queen of Cups, not only because she's his divine counterpart, but because he needs to embody some of that energy as well. I pulled a few cards to shed more light on the Emperor and what in the final result. And what I pulled, the first card I pulled is the Sun. And this is about joy, victory, childhood abandoned, to be able to be childlike and in this loving relationship with the world. The sun is shining and the sunflowers are out, which means that we're given a lot of higher help. There's divine energy coming. Next to it is the Ace of Pentacles reversed. And I think this is a reminder that we need to start looking at what our priorities are, and if it's all about money and not about not about the heart, you cannot move into the sun. The sun requires us to start to put things in the right perspective. That love, our connection to our divine self, our spiritual journey, all these things, integrating and reuniting with our divine counterpart, these are the things that are going to make us really experience this beautiful card of the Sun, which is about abundance, joy, love. And the next card is the Ten of Swords backwards, and this is saying that all the things, we have an opportunity to put all the emotional charges of all the hurts and sorrows and moments of our tower moments and the grief that came from them in the past, that the sun can rise and we're at a point where we can get beyond it and start making the right choices. We need to start making the right choices. And then the next card is the Page of Swords. It came out sideways, and the Page of Swords is a messenger. It's about the ability to communicate. It's saying sideways makes me think that maybe one of the two, the divine masculine or the divine feminine, wanted to reach out to the other and communicate how they feel but are having a difficult time with it. But what's important here is telling you that you need to communicate. You are going to be receiving a lot of synchronicities, things that are going, like the invisible world wants to talk to us, wants to communicate with us, is communicating with us, and we need to be vigilant and pay attention. Because it's not only about you wanting to communicate with your divine counterpart, but your divine higher self is giving you messages of synchronicity to help you make this decision so that you can come back into union. So I pulled 4 cards if you had a question when it came in to the reading, to help you answer that question. And the first card that came out is the Magician. The Magician has an infinity sign over his head. This means that he has a lot of divine guidance, a lot of divine help. He has mastery over the elements. He can easily manifest if he wants to. It's telling us that we are alchemists, and we have, if we want to, if we can put everything in the right perspective, can manifest a lot tremendously, especially in union with our divine counterpart. Then for my oracle cards, I pulled the 5 of Wands, which is a test of courage. It's going to ask you to look at what confusion and struggles you've had around this union, or the one that you're with now that you haven't been able to have a a harmonious relationship with, if that's the case. And it's telling you to be honest with yourself and the part that you've taken to bring it out of balance. So it's telling us to do our own inner work, our own inner reflection, all of us having to be honest with ourselves and bring ourselves into an inner harmony. Again, the masculine, the feminine coming back to balance so that we can be harmonious in our relationships. And then for some of us, needing to have the courage to step forward and contact the divine counterpart. Then for my animal cards, I got the tiger, and the tiger is a symbol of primal power, creation, sexuality, and perception. The tiger denotes power, and they're considered the king of all beasts. The tiger is associated with the goddess Kali, who represents creation, sexuality, and death. So in terms of death is something that's been coming up a lot, and it's not a physical death. It's just that something has to end in terms of perception or things that we're hanging on to that no longer serve this possibility. In other words, it has to end for new beginnings, and the new beginnings would be the meeting and integrating and communicating with your divine counterpart. And of course, the last card I actually wrote this down, is the personal divination deck for spiritual growth and transformation. You can find these at corestarhealingarts@gmail.com. That's corestarhealingarts@gmail.com. They're beautiful cards. And the card that came up is communication, and it's saying this: the universe is always speaking to you. You are listening to are you listening to what is being revealed? Advice: synchronicity is a form of communication, not coincidence. Be careful and be attentive to your world around you, and you will soon begin to learn a different language. So this is reinforcing what's already come out with the Page of Swords, which is telling you not only that you need to communicate and really say what you feel, and to yourself, be clear to yourself, be clear to your divine counterpart. But it's saying that you're going to have a lot of help. There's a lot that's trying to reach you. There's synchronicities happening in your life that are trying to show you the way. And if you could just start to flow with that, all of this can happen. The sun, visualize the sun, and that's what's possible. Okay, this is the reading for the week, and hopefully I'll have a chance to do another reading in a few days and bring more perspective. Thank you for tuning in. Sending a lot of love to all. Bye.